I just wanted to pop on and make a quick intro. Like, look, my makeup's even running off my face. Okay, it's super late. I'm trying to get this video up because it's been a minute since I posted, but I wanted to kind of give a brief intro to what this video is. It's a long one. It's long, and I explain in it what it is, but this is a screen recording of one of my live videos that I did on Facebook. Look, I got this hair sticking up, everything. I'm a hot mess. I am a hot mess at, what time is it? 11:30 at night. I've been up. So anyways, get on there, watch the video. You can, you know, fast forward through things, but it just takes a really deep dive into doing a basic face of makeup. So it's really good for beginners. Really good if you want to see some Farmasi products in action. I'm loving them so much. You need to follow me on my socials. Go and find me on Blush the Face Up on Instagram and Facebook. You can find me there. You'll find my live videos there, and you can see all this craziness in action instead of going and watching the screenplay, but I wanted to share that on YouTube as well. Thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. It actually is morning today. Isn't that exciting? I'm always on here like in the afternoon after everyone like is done their face and don't care. Like, they don't care anymore. Oh goodness. We're gonna do something a little different today. Getting my website up on there so you guys can check that out if you want to. Okay, I am going to be doing my face today, like a full face from start to finish, and I'm going to be using all of my products but talking in deep detail about what I'm using and why and how I'm applying. So this is going to seem really rudimentary to those of you who are comfortable with doing your makeup, who are, good morning Erica, how are you? It's going to be really rudimentary for those of you who are like comfortable doing your makeup and normally do your makeup and don't have issues like and questions about technique. You know, this is going to seem really rudimentary for you, and I'm not trying to like make it too simple, but there are a lot of people out there who've reached out to me who said, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, I'm not sure where to start. And that's what this video is going to be for, is for those people today. So I invite everybody to watch, of course. You might see products being used that you like, that you want to try, but don't feel offended if you think I'm keeping it too simple, because I'm not trying to make anybody feel some kind of way. I'm just trying to help those who watch my videos, who have been requesting on the side and asking a lot of questions. This is more catered for them. So hopefully you learned something new today. Hopefully you enjoy. Hopefully you like the products that you see. I'm going to keep it pretty much what I, like the finished product as what I did yesterday. Not to be redundant, but just because I got so many compliments. I got compliments from people I don't even know. Like so many compliments. So I want to teach that look because I feel like it's really safe for anybody, no matter what your skin tone is, hair color, all that. It works. It's going to work for everybody, and it's a nice either work or casual look. You could even wear it out. I just feel like it's a really good all-around look. So that's what we're going to do today. First thing I'm going to do, and this is at the request of somebody who follows me, watches my videos, they wanted to see everything that I use before we start. So I'm going to try to turn the camera around and show everything that I use before we even start. That way, she can get like a visual. And if you want to, if you're watching the replay, like if I've already gone live and you want to watch this video and go and pull the products that you have and put your makeup on alongside me, you can totally do that. A lot of people, like this is what a lot of people use YouTube for. They'll literally sit down and do their makeup alongside someone else because practice makes perfect. And I'm here to answer questions. So do not hesitate to reach out. I don't care how simple the question is. I don't care if you feel stupid asking. There is no such thing as a stupid question. So we're going to turn the camera around. I have it all laid out here. You're going to get a little like look at my little workstation here. And then we're going to get started. If I can do this without ruining everything. So let's see here. Oh yay, we did it. Okay. Good morning, Nikki. You missed my intro, but that's okay. I'm just showing what we're gonna use before we get started. Okay, so I've got my damp beauty blender, and these are the brushes I'm going to use today. You're gonna want something for powder, for blush, bronzer, highlighter, and then these are the eyeshadow brushes I pulled. I can honestly do my eye look with just this brush right here. I can do an entire look. But I did pull a few others so that I could show. I pulled this smaller fluffy brush for blending. I pulled this flat brush that I used to do my under eye, my lower lash line. And I pulled this brush that you can use to pack eyeshadow on the lid or do your under eye. I just didn't know which one I would want today. And I also pulled my spoolie for my brows. I've got my bronzer, which I do not have my Farmasi bronzer yet. That's okay, it's coming. I have my face setting spray, blush and highlighter in here. This is my face perfecting primer, my powder. I have my face primer. I have my BBCC Duo, which I preach every single day, literally. I have a brow pencil. I have 2 different brow gels, which I'll explain why, but you don't have to be as, over the top as me. I have my lip gloss. This is my eye primer here, my 2 tubes of mascara, which I'll explain, my eyeliners I'm going to use today, my eyeshadows I'm going to use today, and my concealer. So I'm going to try to turn you back around now without screwing everything up because... Oh, there you are. Hello. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. If you could do me a favor and share this video to your friends and family, I would greatly appreciate it. Boost my video up in the algorithm, of course. And also, if you're watching this not live, there won't be a little live thing up in the corner. Oh, thanks. I think this one I got at Wish, I think. I ordered it on Wish, like the Wish app. Yeah, I love this shirt though. I wear it all the time. But if you're not watching this live, just hashtag replay in the comments. That way I know and I can, chat back with you and talk to you. So even if you're not watching it live and you're still chatting as you're going along, I'm still going to respond to you because I know we can't all be on here at the same time. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to get into it. And like I said, I'm going to really get deep into what I'm doing in description. So this video could go a little bit long. I apologize in advance. You can also fast forward to the end if this is already done and see what I look like at the end. Sorry, my allergies are out of control. Okay, we're gonna prime our face to start. I've already washed my face and done my skincare for the day, which that's an entirely different conversation. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but I'm gonna prime my face, and this is the VFX Pro Camera Ready Primer, and it's like a face perfecting, looks like this, face perfecting makeup primer. And what this is gonna do for you is it's going to fill in pores, it's going to fill in fine lines and wrinkles, it's just going to give you a really smooth canvas for your foundation. It's what gives you that flawless airbrush effect. And what I'm doing is I'm patting it into the face where my pores are bigger because that's where I want to start. And by pressing it in, you're kind of pressing it into the pores, into the face. So that's where I'm starting. This is a dimethicone based product. If I could talk, that would probably be good. And I really do love this. I haven't been a huge fan of dimethicone in the past, but I really like this one. It's just done really well. So I'm going to let that sit. You can rub this into the face if you want to, but I find the pressing motion really helps. A tiny little bit goes a long way. I literally had too much. I'm wiping it off on a towel. I keep a clean towel with me when I do my makeup because I'm a hot mess and I need all the support I can get. I also use it to clean my brushes, clean my hands off, things like that. Another thing we're going to need is a makeup sponge, and I wet mine. Some people do not. But they are made so that you can use them wet. And the purpose of wetting them, there's a couple of purposes. Reason number one is it makes it more soft and pliable. It also keeps it from absorbing all your product. So when you use a dry sponges absorb moisture. So when you are putting on your foundation, your sponge is going to sit there and suck up all your stuff. And you're going to need more product. So it's wasteful. But when you dampen it, and what I do is I get it really wet, wring it out as hard as I can, and then I take my clean hand towel and I do one of these. Dry it off in the hand towel, and then you've got the perfect wet consistency where it's not leaving wetness on your face, but it's not absorbing all your makeup. This one is the Real Techniques makeup sponge. They sell them at Walmart. Very affordable, and this is probably the closest thing I have found to the Beauty Blender, which is the $20 makeup sponge that started the whole makeup sponge revolution. Morning, Diane. How are ya? All right, so we've let our primer sit. You want to let your primer sit for a few minutes. If you're in the morning and you're getting ready, maybe put your primer on, then brush your teeth, and then go forward with the rest of your makeup, or whatever it is, however you do your routine. I'm going to start with the CC cream. CC stands for color correcting. So this is going to help balance out redness, or if you have what they call like sallow skin, it's going to help with that. It does have SPF 15. It is really, really good. Like I love this stuff a lot. This is in the shade light. I probably should go up to light medium, but we balance it out with the BB cream. But I like it. I tend to be red. It also kind of helps cancel out like dark circles. This is not a high coverage product, so you're not gonna, you know, put this on and it's gonna hide all the things you want to hide on your face. That's not what it's made for. But I love this because it sets a very nice base. It helps to even out my skin tone, which you can kind of see already. Oh, I hate when I get notifications on my phone because you guys can't see them. And I can. So it was a eBay notification. But anyways, so did my I've kind of done half my face. With your sponge, it's not a dragging motion, it's a stamping motion. This is where the beat your face thing came from. If you heard the kids saying beat your face, I beat my face, this is what it is. And it's just a stamping motion, and it's tiring and it's tedious. And I'm sorry. I mean, you can go on and do this with your hands if you want to. And honestly, when you're using a BB and a CC cream, I almost prefer my hands better because it just blends, I think, faster. But for the sake of this video and demonstration, I'm going to use this. And also this helps keep my hands cleaner so I don't have to get up and wash my hands. Like, it's kind of hard to do that when you're sitting at your desk on a live video. So just beat it into the face. Is anyone doing anything fun today? I think we're gonna go down to my father-in-law's house, which is what we do every Sunday. And I don't know what's gonna go on. The kids will run around like crazy and get some energy out, and I always bring my doggies down and they run around and get some energy out. It's hard to say. My allergies are insane. Alright, CC is on. We can move CC to the side. Now this is when I go on with my BB cream. What's up, Kayla? How are ya? Are you guys still fishing? This is in the shade light medium. BB stands for Beauty Balm. And essentially it's like a tinted moisturizer, but with more pigment with skincare benefits. Is the best way I can describe Beauty Balm to you. It is a light to medium. It has SPF 15, which I appreciate. I am solely, like, I worship at this product's altar. I really do. It's really, really good. It absorbs really well. I've tried a lot of BB creams in the past. A lot of BB creams that cost a lot of money. You're being lazy now. Oh, good for you. I wish I have to go to the grocery store. Like, we're out of a lot of things. And Brad's home today, so you can watch the kiddos because I'm still not taking them out in public. So just gonna just go right over the top of the CC cream. We are, Kayla, to bring you up to speed, we are doing a full makeup look, but I'm going into deep detail about what I'm doing and why, for those who are not comfortable with doing their makeup and have questions. And you missed in the beginning of the video, I showed everything that I was using and the tools I was using. So you can, when I'm done, you can go back and watch that beginning if you're interested. Or not. It's whatever you want to do. Alright, I'm almost done. But you can see I got really good coverage. Like, really good coverage. From the two products combined. Still gonna beat my face. This is like the boring part, guys. Like, some people love to do their complexion. Like, this is called doing your complexion. I find it to be boring. Like, so boring. So I'm beating my face. Hey Irene, what's up? All right. Abby was beautiful in all her photos you've been posting lately. I feel so bad about her graduation and everything being ruined. That poor girl. Okay. Complexion's on. I'm starting to look insane. You always start to kind of look insane when you're doing your makeup, and then it kind of all comes together. Because what we've done is we've taken away all the color. So now we just look like a ghost, which we're going to fix it. We're going to go in and conceal next. So this is, I'm going to use the Farmasi Full Coverage Liquid Concealer. I'm using the shade Light Ivory, which is number 3. I love this stuff. I was raving about it yesterday. I can't get enough of this, and I'm not a concealer person at all. Like, I normally do not wear concealer, but I really, really like this. And you'll see, like, some people will do the great big triangles under their eyes, and then they do, like, the bush looking thing on their forehead, and that's a lot. That's a lot of mascara, or a lot of concealer. So I will go in and I just dab where I want some extra coverage. And you can take it down. Some people do concealer for highlighting purposes, which, yeah, I want to highlight a little bit under my eye, but this is really more for concealing those dark circles, because I was up till almost 4 a.m. I'm insane. And I just use that same beauty blender, that same damn beauty blender, and go in. And we're doing makeup for beginners essentially today, Irene. That's what if this is you still watching, there's only one watching, but that's what we're doing. It's why I'm being so detailed in what I'm talking about today. Another thing you want to be careful with, some people will put it all over their face and then go in and blend. Here's the thing. Matte concealers will start to dry and start to set. And then once that happens, they are impossible to blend. So it has been my experience to do one eye at a time, apply product to one part of your face at a time, go in and blend before it has a chance to dry and set, and then go to the next section. Now, if you are comfortable with your face and comfortable with doing your makeup, you could go ahead and put it everywhere. But even people, like, I do my makeup on a pretty regular basis, especially even more now that I'm doing Farmasi and using the Farmasi products and going live every day. I never put the full thing on and then go in and blend, because I'm terrified it's going to start to dry down and I'm not going to be able to move it, which it does happen. I do the same thing with my eye, my eyeshadow, my mascara. I'm a one side at a time kind of person. Because I like to try to avoid disaster before disaster strikes me. So, but I'm feeling pretty good. Now, if you're interested, you can, if you wanted to, highlight a little bit down the center of your face. That is your call. I know it looks like I just smeared a ton on, but it really was just a thin layer. And you would just put it in the center of your face, and it's all in the blend. So you want to make sure you blend it out. I just find this to be an extra step, so I don't typically do that, but I wanted to show you. So, blend it out. And just gives you a little more highlight with liquid. You tell me when I said that right. You said white eyeliner, but yeah, we'll add this on, definitely. I didn't know if it was you or Irene on still. It doesn't tell you who leaves, it just tells you who comes on, and then that's it. Okay, we're done. We've done our BBCC primer and concealer, so we're done. At this point, we have done all of the liquid complexion products. You do not want to do liquids and powders together. You want to start with your liquid and then do your powders. You can't put liquid products on top of powders. It's usually a disaster. So that's why you want to make sure I've done everything I wanted to do. Now I'm going to set my face with my Skin Perfecting Primer. I use the shade number 1. Surprise, because I'm a pasty white kid. But this is what it looks like. Really, really nice. I love this stuff. I think it's great. And this is what the big fluffy powder brush is for. So any type of brush that is big and fluffy, very easy to move the bristles around. And the point of this is you want the powder to fluff on, not bop down in one area and stay there. So I'm just gonna go ahead. And I do use a stamping motion followed by a swirling motion. And this just helps put the product down and keeps you from fluffing it all over the place. Because if you do this and you immediately go in and start like this, you will lose, it'll start fluffing and you'll start having powder going everywhere. But if you do this stamping motion, it kind of puts it down, and then you can do the circular motion to help blend it in. Now I set my whole face with powder, the whole thing, because I like my foundation look to be matte. I don't like it to be luminous or shiny or dewy. I like a matte look. So that's why I powder pretty heavily. I like everything to sit in place. And the better off the powder that, like, the more powder that you use, the more the setting you do on your skin, like on your foundation, on that, it takes away that sticky and that tacky. Not that those products are super sticky and tacky, that's part of the reason why I love them, but you still have that residual light tackiness that you're gonna get from putting a liquid product on your face. It doesn't matter what product you use, and this powder will set that in place. It is majorly important that you set your under eye concealer with powder. Some people can get away with it, not setting their under eye with concealer, with powder. The point of doing that is it keeps it from doing the creasing. So it'll keep it from moving into the fine lines around your eyes, and then you end up with those little like concealer lines. And that's what, that's the purpose of setting your concealer with powder. So you want to make sure that you do that. Now, if you're like 20 and you have the under eye of an 8-year-old, maybe you don't have to do that, but I don't roll with too many 20-year-olds, so set your under eye concealer with powder. You have to, like, you have to, because it will crease if you don't. So we've powdered, we've done, our entire complexion is done. Now we're gonna go ahead and start adding color back to the face, because right now I look like a ghost. I look sickly. I always start with bronzer. Now, I'm gonna talk back and forth for a second. You can stop at this point and do your eyes, do your eyeshadow and your eye look if you want to. You can do your eyeshadow and your eye look before you do all of your foundation and everything. I don't like to do that. I find that it's harder for me to apply my foundation and my concealer and get it like right up around the eyes when my eyeshadow is already on. I just feel like it's more of a struggle. But if you tend to get a lot of fallout with your eyeshadow and then it ends up smearing up your foundation and your concealer, maybe doing your eye look would be better for you. It's based on preference. But I'm going to go ahead and finish out the face. I'm going to go ahead and what they call contour my face. For my contour, I'm using this brush. I like to use a very small powder brush. This is actually a contour brush. That's what it's made for. And this is where I'm going to put my bronzer. I'm waiting to sneeze. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to put my bronzer in the hollow of my cheek. So if you find your cheekbone, right underneath is what they call the hollow of your cheek. So this is where your bronzer or your contour is going to go. And the point of this is it gives you those supermodel chiseled cheeks, and you're going to take it from your hairline down to about here. You don't want to take it down, because what that does is bring your face down. You also don't want to be bringing it down here, because it'll make your face look muddy. So that's where, you know, take some time, feel where your face contour is, And I don't get too picky about this. Like I do kind of get sloppy. You can get sloppy, but I'm just showing you like where you would put it. So you'd put it through here. Then I take it and I put it right along the hairline all the way through. And what that does is it helps minimize my humongous forehead because I have a billboard up here. And it also makes you just look more tanned. And then what I usually do is take whatever's left on the brush and take it on my fat little neck down here. And that just helps clean off the brush, give a little bit of shadow down here. And the purpose of a contour is just to help give your face shape. You can actually change the way your face looks by shadowing. It's almost like doing art. So when I pick a bronzer, I pick a shade, I hope you can see this. I pick a shade that is cool tone because I am a pink undertone girl. So I pick a cool tone matte. So for contouring, you want to use a matte product. And what I mean by matte is there's no shimmer. It's just the color. A shimmer is going to look more like this. See how it has like a shine? I don't know if that's showing as well as it could, but I don't know. So you want to use a matte for contouring. Bronzing, you can put on the face kind of in that classic like 3 and then across the face like this to kind of make you look sun-kissed. With that, you can use a bronzer with a shimmer. But for contouring is what we're doing right now, you're going to want to use a matte. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and some people suck in. I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I don't get super delicate with it. And I just go in and do a buffing motion. A buffing swirling motion just like this. And I do take and swipe it up. So you're going to see it's kind of going up a little bit. And that's okay because we're going to kind of help blend that in with some blush. And I go pretty heavy on my contour and my blush products because I have amazing bionic skin that absorbs my contour and my blush. I don't know what it is, but I can blush my face and then half an hour later, I won't even have left my house and my blush is gone. It doesn't happen so much with these products I've noticed with the Farmasi. They really are nice. They've done a good job. But I tend to go a little heavy because my face eats it. I don't even know. I don't know if it's because I'm touching my face. I don't know. But my face eats cheek products. It always has. Not everybody has that problem. Alright. And I'm not doing a strict contour. Some people will do a liquid contour and really get in there and, you know, shade their face, and that's a lot of work. That's more than I'm willing to put into a day. I think the women who do that, it looks beautiful, but I'm just not here for that. Like, we don't have time for that. I have to go to the grocery store. So, just going in and... But can you see the difference? Like, see how it just warms up my face, makes me look more human, kind of minimizes that forehead space. This is literally a makeup step I do even on my most basic days, is contour my forehead. Because I should have bangs to help hide it, but I hate messing with bangs. Like, I'm lazy. So I don't even bother anymore. But the contour helps save me. So that's all I do, is I just dust it right along the hairline, and it just brings the face back to life, warms you right up. And you can contour your nose. I do sometimes. I don't have any extra product on this. Sometimes people will use a smaller brush that looks more like this, but you would just take it and they contour and just thin out the nose. They will do across the bridge of the nose like this. My nose is my nose. It is what it is. It's not the smallest nose on the planet, and I don't care. So it's really up to you. And I just take the excess and wipe it down like this just to kind of help give a glow. Bronzer's awesome. Once you get your handle on bronzer, it's good stuff. Next, I'm going to do my cheeks. I've got my peachy blush that I'm obsessed with. This is shade number 9. Love this stuff. It looks really, really orange. I know, but it's good. You have your blush brush. So this one is a smaller one that I really like. It's a little bit more compact than a powder brush. I also have this one that I'll use sometimes, but it's a lot bigger. So I'm going to use this one today. And what you're going to do, or what I'm going to do today, is put this on what they call the apples of your cheeks. So when you smile, it's this, your apples. So I'm going to go ahead and get in here. I'm a tapper. I tap my brush. I don't, sometimes I'll do it on my finger so you don't hear it or you don't see it because I'm doing it down here. But when you tap, you just kind of kick off that extra powder. I do it especially with my eyeshadows, and it helps to prevent things from falling where you don't want them. So I'm going to go ahead and just dab. Some people smile and do it, but I kind of know my face. I know where the apples of my cheeks are. And I also don't get super fancy with this either. So if it doesn't even out perfect, it's fine. But this is the general area where you want to put it. And again, I've started doing like a stamping and a swirl. Stamping and swirl. So then just blend it. And I used to like do the whole whoosh, like right back with it. I've stopped doing that because I just don't think it's necessary. But I like to make sure the front of my face is nice and, you know, flushed and rosy. And just stamping and sweeping. I always do the tip of my nose. My aunt did that. My mom wasn't a big like makeup wearer. She'd wear it for special occasions. She'd wear it when she'd like go out or whatever. But on a whole, you know, she stayed home with us, so she didn't wear a ton of makeup. And I remember going to stay with my aunt Dana Lee. And she was doing her makeup, and I was watching her because I've had this fascination from a very young age. And she put it on the tip of her nose, and ever since I've seen her do that, I always do it. Always. Always, always. And it just gives you just a little bit of flush, puts a little bit of color back in your life. This is a fan brush. It's thin. It's very, like, soft and fluffy, and I'm going to use this to put on my highlighter today. So for the highlighter, I'm going to use the Pink Lily blush, which is actually more of a highlighter than a blush. It just doesn't put a ton of pigment down. So that's what we're going to use today. Why I love a fan brush is because it gives you a lot more control. With highlighter, you can go overboard very quickly. I speak from personal experience. So I'm going to just dab it in there, and then all I'm going to do is apply it. All right, see you later. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and apply it right through here, just on this high point of my face. So, and what I do is, again, a stamping and then a light fluffing motion. And why I like a fan brush for my highlighter is you need a fan brush too. It keeps you from putting on too much, because you'll see I'm holding it down by the end and I'm doing this light fluffing motion, and it's giving me the perfect amount of glow. Can you see the difference? And it's not looking like a stripe, and it's not overkill. It's just a very soft and subtle highlight. Highlight is something, especially if you are getting on in age, you know, your skin is starting to show signs of maturity like mine. I'm going to be 35 in about 2 weeks. I feel old. And I know that there are older people out there watching this who probably want to slap me, but I feel old. I'm really feeling this birthday. I don't know why. But I am starting to see signs of aging in my skin. Fine lines, wrinkles, things of that nature. So you have to be careful when you're doing the highlight, because I've got some of the fine lines starting through here, and highlighter is kind of like a great big beacon that says, look at all my imperfections. It's a beautiful product. It really creates a nice healthy glow, especially if you're going to have your photos taken or if you're doing an event outside. The sun will catch that highlight and you'll just look so healthy, and you know, it really is an amazing product, but it can betray you if you put on too much. So that's why I love a fan brush. So just any person at any age can wear highlighter. You just gotta go at it with a very light hand. Now, some people will highlight down their forehead, down their nose, and do their Cupid's bow. I like to highlight my Cupid's bow, which is this little, you know, thing here on your lips. I like to do that. I take my fan brush and I just do a light motion down. I don't know if it's coming across on camera, but do you see the subtle highlight? And sometimes I will do it on my nose. I try to avoid my forehead because it tends to look more like sweat, and that's where I'm showing most sign of aging in my fine lines. So it just isn't a place I like to put the highlighter. Typically, there are days where I just do whatever because that's how I am, but I like to do the Cupid's bow, and I just ever so slightly touch, and that's it. And when you put on your lip product, this will just, you have a very slight glisten. You want to be careful. You don't want to get it all up through here. You don't want to look like you have lip sweat. That's not cute on anybody. All right. Let's move on to eyeballs. We've talked a long time. I'm not sure who's on here with me. I've got a couple of people bouncing in and out. Okay, we're going to go ahead and prime our eyes first. This is the, I'll learn names eventually, I swear. The Pro to Fit Eyeshadow Primer. Long lasting, no transfer, quick dry formula, creamy formula, easy to use. Yes, yes, and yes. It's in a little glass jar, screw on lid. I do this with my fingers. And what I love about this is it does have pigment, so you can see where I'm putting it on. And the reason why I like that is it's gonna help cancel out any veins that you might have in your eyes. So if you have like natural darkness on your lids from veining, this will help hide that. And the purpose of an eyeshadow primer is a couple of things. It's going to act as an adhesive for your eyeshadow. So it's going to help the eyeshadows stick. It's going to help the colors look more vibrant. It's going to help keep your eyeshadows from creasing. So if you have oily lids, this will be your friend if you have oily lids. I have never used a primer that I've liked so much. And I'm not saying that as lip service. That's the honest truth. I've dropped my towel. Go me. Ugh. All right. I really like this, especially for oily lids, because it's a dry formula, and I don't mean that in a bad way. So typically when people hear dry, I'm going to talk a little bit about this primer because you need to let it sit for a couple seconds. I like this because it's dry. So when I put this on, it's leaving a nice tacky base, which is what you want, but it's dry. So it's not slippy and emollient, which if you have oily skin in any way, a slippy emollient moisturizer, primer, foundation, anything is like putting an oil slick on your face. It's awful. So this is, that's why I like it. It's creamy, and you saw how easily it blended in like a dream, but it's done, it's dry, it's ready to go. Love this stuff. Really amazing. This jar literally will last you a year. Easy. Because I've had it and I've used it now probably 5 or 6 times, and you can't even barely tell I've touched it. It'll last you forever because you need next to nothing. I pulled out a couple of eyeshadows today. Oh, here we go. I pulled out my trio, my Sunset Kiss trio. It looks like this. I also pulled out this one, which is shade number 10, and I pulled out this one, which is shade number 18. This is a matte, has no glitter, no shimmer. This one has glitter in it, but they kind of fluff away, so I'm going to use this kind of like a matte today. And then all 3 of these are shimmers. So, let's talk about eye brushes for a second. I'm going to go ahead. This is the brush that I love. This is my favorite. And I can do my entire eye look with this brush alone. This is a dome blending brush. Really, really nice. It's perfect for my eye shape, so it fits right here in the crease of my eye. I'm sorry, she's crying. I don't know what the problem is. This is another blending brush. I like this one because it's smaller, and I can use it here in the corner, like to do my outer corner. And then I have 2 different flat ones for underneath my eyes. So let's do this. I'm going to start with my crease shade first. As always, this is how I start every single eye look, no matter what I'm doing. I always pick a matte, and this is what they call your transition shade. This is going to go into your crease, and your crease is this squishy part right here in your eye. So you're going to poke yourself in the eye. Your brow bone is here, your eyeball's here, and then there's a squishy space kind of in between. That is your crease. So you want to find your natural crease, because it's different for everybody. And you're going to stick your brush in there, and you're just going to start doing windshield wiper motions. And this is all in the wrist. I'm not using my whole arm to do windshield wiper motions, just doing my wrist movements. And I'm not lifting the brush. I have not lifted the brush off my skin. I'm literally just taking this eyeshadow, pressing it in, and then smearing it back and forth, for lack of a better word. And what this does is it helps to define your eye. It helps to give definition and shape, a lot like the contouring. It's kind of like contour for your eyes. But it also helps create that barrier, like that. It helps to create that nice blend. So sometimes if you go and you just put an eyeshadow on your lid, then you've got a line. And when you have a nice transition shade down, then you don't have a line, like right here where your eyeshadow's going to be, like in the crease. Because the whole goal in eyeshadow is no harsh lines. So it's all about the blend. You can do any look on your eye, and as long as you blended it well, it's going to come out awesome. That's just how it is. Now, sometimes people like to do a harsh line as part of their look. The things I'm telling you are not rules, they're more like guidelines. In makeup, there are no rules. So you can see I have a nice base there. My eyelids, I've always had, this is not an age thing, but my eyelids have always been like wrinkly as of sorts. Like the skin has always been very loose around my eyelids. So that is a little bit more challenging when you're doing your eye makeup. So that's the whole reason for the circular, the padding, and the back and forth. So that's why the more you blend and the more you push your eyelid around, just push this, see how the skin just moves around? Just keep pushing it around and you'll get it in there and you'll get a seamless blend. And this part can be a little boring too. But we blend our lives away. Like you literally blend until you want your arm to fall off, essentially. That's how people achieve these amazing eye looks. You're not going to get an amazing eyeshadow look in 2 or 3 minutes. You're just not. You can do it quickly once you're comfortable. You can blend quickly. You can learn how to do that. But they all take time. So I'm going to do what you do to one side, you must do to the other. Some people will do an entire eye look on one side, and then move to the other side. Hey, Mom, what's shaking? My toe feels a little better today. A little better. It's still very sore. I don't know if I'm going to lose the nail or not. I can't tell what's going on with it, but I don't think it's broken. The swelling's gone down, but whew, it's still tender. I have to be really careful with it. So I'm still doing that gray shade. Super boring, I know. For those of you who are just hopping on and you missed my intro, I am doing a back to basics eye look. So I'm really talking about what I'm doing in deep detail because I've had a lot of people reach out and say that they don't know how to do this certain part of makeup, they don't know how to do makeup, they wish they could do makeup like me. Anybody can do makeup like me. I'm not a makeup artist. I'm not. I've had some training, but honestly, I'm passing it on right to you. Now, if you've been watching, you'll notice I've stopped with my crease shade about right here. You can see it on this side. I didn't take it all the way in. You can, but that's going to make my eyes look smaller. Open for bright, close for dark colors. So this is giving my eyes a more open and wide shape. Alright. I really love this color. This crease color. I think it's called Warm Taupe. I just got it on Friday, and this is my second time using it, and I'm really a fan. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just deepening up the color towards the outer corner of my eye, still keeping it in the crease area, but I'm just sort of working it in, just because I want a little more color today. I love these eyeshadows because they are really nice for beginners. They're really nice for people who maybe aren't as comfortable with eyeshadow because they're buildable. When you go in with these eyeshadows, you're not going to get a ton of color down immediately, which gives you a lot more control and a lot more room for error. So I don't know if you watch, those of you who watch YouTube, Tati Westbrook, she's a very famous YouTuber. She's got, I think, 10 million subscribers. She's very famous. She launched a makeup brand this year. In 2019, and she launched an eyeshadow palette back around Christmas time, and I bought it, and let me tell you, I should have brought it over here to show you. Holy Hannah Batman, like freaking pigment, right? This stuff, these eyeshadows are so pigmented. There's a black in that eyeshadow that is black as the devil's soul, I swear. It's so black. I've never seen an eyeshadow just go on pitch black like that. Beautiful product. Here's the thing. I struggle with it because it's so pigmented that unless you really are comfortable with makeup and what you're doing, you might struggle with it because it's so pigmented, like so pigmented that you can easily make a mistake. So I've been trying to review it for my YouTube channel, and I've gone back and forth with this palette so much because it's so, it's just not as user-friendly as everybody claims that it is. Like, you can watch reviews. I don't think it got one bad review on YouTube because I was watching for it. Because I was beginning to think that maybe there was something wrong with me, that I was kind of almost hating the palette. Maybe hating is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. I was so back and forth about what I felt on this palette. I did pull out my vintage Season Trio, and I'm using this darker color right in here because I wanted something just a little darker in this crease here. And all I'm doing is using a smaller blending brush and just basically stamping that color right into the inner corner of my eye. And I'm going to do it for a good couple minutes. And I know it's boring, so that's why I'm talking to you about this other palette. It has beautiful colors. I love it. But you really need to have a firm hand on eyeshadow before you start using it. It's not user-friendly at all. And, you know, Tati did this whole release video, and she's talking about how to properly use it, how to properly handle it, how to use the different formulas, because it has 4 different formulas or 5 different formulas, all in the same colors. So it's got 5 colors, but they're all 5 different formulas. It's really cool. It's a cool product. It's a cool concept. I really like it. But here's my thing. Other than, like, application techniques, you should be able to buy a palette and be able to use it without an instruction manual. Like, you shouldn't have to hear, well, with this specific type of shadow, you need to use this type of brush and this type of, you know, primer, and you have to use this type of motion, and, you know, like, somebody who's comfortable with eyeshadow should be able to buy an eyeshadow palette and use it without having to have a whole set of instructions. Now, I'm going into deep detail instructions today for people who aren't comfortable with eyeshadow. So, I really struggled with this palette, and maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I need to get a life. I don't know. But, yeah. But that's my job. Like, on my YouTube channel, that's my job, is sharing my honest feedback about products. But that's my long, drawn-out story about why I love the Farmasi eyeshadows so much, because they're very user-friendly, and you don't have to be an expert in makeup. You don't have to go find a video to use these. They go on with a nice wash of color that you can build to the desired pigment that you want, and you don't have to worry about making major mistakes. That was the point of the whole story, because it doesn't put down so much pigment that you're stuck with that. I know that was a really long story for that point, wasn't it? We got nothing but time. I'm still standing in my outer corner. I hate this brush. I love the shape of this brush, but I hate the bristles. It's a natural hair brush, meaning it's made with real hair. This is horsehair brush, and it's very hokey. But it's also old. It's a Mary Kay brush. It's from when I sold Mary Kay the second time or the first time? The second time. Yeah. So they have natural hair brushes in their horsehair. And it's just a little kooky. So it's okay though. It's okay. Alright, so we've done the basic outline of what we want our eye to look like. We've done the contour of the eye. We put down the color. We've darkened the outer corner. Now we're going to do the lid. And for the lid, I'm going to use this copper penny color right here. And I'm going to do it with my finger because they're the best tools to work with. God made no mistakes when he designed us. So he was thinking about the day you'd be putting on copper penny eyeshadow on your eyelid. Probably not, but it sounds good. And all I'm doing is I put it on my finger. My hands are clean. I'm going to make sure I clean hands, of course. Stamping in a light dragging motion just to kind of put it in. And I'm stopping about right here. That's intentional. So if you ever see me stop with a color, I'm doing that on purpose. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp, stamp, stamp. And I can literally get with my finger right down along the lash line. So there's no gapping. I can do it better than with a brush. And this is based on just practice and feel. And you'll see it blended in seamlessly with that transition color. So we don't have any harsh lines. And I take it all the way back and kind of stamp it along the line where I put that darker shade. Not completely over it, but just so that they meet together. I really like this color. It's really pretty. And then we're just going to go ahead and do the other side. Same thing. Really simple. For those of you who are new, or who are just jumping on, hello. I'm breaking it down super simple today because I've had a lot of questions. A lot of people don't feel comfortable doing their makeup, so that's why we're talking about it. I'm breaking it right down to the basics. Okay. Yes. Yes, honey. Alright. I like that. My hair's drying finally. It's doing better drying today than it did yesterday. Must be less humid today. Alrighty. So, we've done that. We're good. Now we need to deal with this inner corner. And how we're going to do that is we're going to take a makeup setting spray. You can use water or wet the brush. I like to use a makeup setting spray. And I'm going to go in with, which one do I want? I'm going to use this one here. I'm going to go in with this one. It has a little bit more of a gold undertone. It's a metallic. I'm going to go ahead and brush it onto my damp brush. And this is what's going to go here. So just going to go ahead and place it. And again, it's a stamp and drag. A stamp and drag motion. And I'm just going to pull it into that copper penny color. Just ever so slightly. So you have a seamless blend. Remember, no harsh lines. And I'm going to just go ahead and take it on the other side. Do the exact same thing. I'm following the natural contour of the eye, or the natural shape of the eye. That's what makes this type of brush, this oval-shaped flat brush, that's what makes it so handy. Alright, that's it. That's all we're doing. Really simple. Then we're going to do our lower lash line. Again, we're going to keep it really simple. I think I'm going to go ahead and use, I don't want to use the copper, I'm going to use this dark middle one here, right here. And this, for this one, I'm going to use this angled flat brush. Just looks like this, it's on an angle, flat. And I'm just going to stamp it in the eyeshadow, just light little stamping motions, kick off your excess, and then I'm taking it right along the lash line. And I'm going to stop where my lashes stop, which is right here. I'm going to do it earlier because I don't feel like I put down enough, which is, that's good, because not everyone wants a nice dark line. I do. Very nice. Very easy. The sky is so blue today. Ugh. It's going to be nice out. But this brush, I love this brush because it's just a nice lay. Like the shape of the brush goes with the shape of my eye. So I can just follow the natural line and it's not getting everywhere. The tools you use are just as important as the brush you use. And that's honest God truth. Okay. I'm going to highlight my brow bone real quick. This is a step I almost never skip. I'm going to clean off that same, I've cleaned it off on my towel, that same dome brush. So you really don't need a ton of brushes. You can make a couple brushes work for you. I'm going to take this color here and just go right on the brow bone and blend. And what that's going to do is just help blend your eyeshadow so you don't have harsh lines. And I do this with every look because it helps clean up any mistakes. If I went outside the line, it just helps clean everything up. If you made a mistake, because this is like almost my skin tone, you can even take it under here and blend away if you need to. Like I didn't make a mistake today, but if you do, you can. It's really handy to have a nice flesh tone. This has glitter in it, but the glitter fluffs away, so it's like having a matte, but you want a matte shade. So no glitter shimmer, I just lost that. Goodbye, friend. Okay, let's line the eyes. Now, I'm going to use the navy liner because I loved it so much yesterday, and I'm also going to use a white liner. So, the navy liner is going to go on my eyelid and my lower lid, and I hold my eye like tight. And be careful, don't tug on your eyes a ton, but I find that it helps me create a very smooth line, especially because, like we talked about, my eyes have a lot of play in the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and close, and I'm not going to just try to attempt to draw a line. That never works. What you're going to want to do is do a stamping and sketching, dragging motion. So, just a light touch and drag. Touch and drag. If you feel you're going to blink, stop, and then go back. Don't feel like you have to get it all done in one sweeping motion. I'm going to make my line a little thicker today, because that's just the kind of mood I'm in. You can go as thick or thin as you want. I find also, this might help you, especially if you struggle with your eyeliner, I get like right up in the mirror. Not so much when I'm doing a live video. I actually do less well with my eyeliner during my live videos because I like to get my face right up in the mirror because that way I can really see what I'm doing and I feel like I have more control because I'm closer. And that's just a little trick. But like right here, I don't know if you can see this, right here the line is not 100% perfect. So I'm trying to fix it without adding too much product. You can also see that I stopped with my liner right about here. I try to keep it right where my eyelashes grow. That's where I try to line. And I don't do the cat eye wings. I'm just not any good at them. If you like to do them, I love them. I think they look amazing on people. And what I mean is like the little flicky tail that people do. Usually they'll use a liquid liner. I love them, but I'm horrible at them. I'm really bad at symmetry. That's where I struggle. I struggle with symmetry with my brows, symmetry with my eyes. I just can't get, I'll get one side to do it perfect, and the other side's a hot mess. It's just like the meme I shared earlier today with the wet cat and the really pretty cat. It's a real thing. Now my lower lash line, I'm using the same pencil, and I'm literally coloring right along the roots of my lashes. And coloring that in. And just a back and forth, gentle motion. The beautiful thing about these eyeliner pencils is A, they're only $6.90. Super cheap. But they don't drag. They don't poke. They're very creamy. They just go on with no pressure. So you're not sitting there going, line, 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 line. You don't have to do that. The color comes right off. Let me go ahead and hurry up and do the other side. See? It's hard to do it when I can't. I'm like so dependent on getting right up in the grill of the mirror. Just light stamping and dragging. Lights. That's very easy. Is that Doreen? I saw that thumb go up. It's not notifying me very quickly like who's here and who's not. But this eye is lining a lot better than the first one did. Because that's my life in general. I didn't make any mistakes. I'm going to have the very same gradient. A little bit less thick. There. Now they look even. I'm going to go in, do the bottom. Coloring right on the roots of my lashes. Stopping where the lashes stop growing. Okay. Done. That's the navy. The white is for my waterline. Now, I like to do this because it makes my eyes look bigger, makes your eyes look more bright and more open. And this is where we line our waterline. And this lasted a long time. Like it lasted all day. I could see this later on in the day. And that's a mark of a good eyeliner because your waterline is wet. So if you don't have a good eyeliner on, it tends to, you lose it throughout the day. It's just how it goes. But this I'm going to do right here. This is your waterline. And I'm going to color it right on there. And if it gets a little bit blue, that's okay. Like that. I know that looks super harsh. It tones down when you put on your mascara. But this, I mean, it's not a look, I just love the look of a white liner. Now, if you want something more subtle, you don't have to go with something as stark as white. You can use something that is more like your flesh tone color, but maybe a little bit brighter, and that's what this one is, and this one I use all the time, and it's a favorite of mine. But you can see it's more like skin color, and that gives you that highlight, but it's a lot more subtle. I didn't want the subtle today. I wasn't feeling the subtle. Let's do the brows quick. Alright, let's clean up a bit. We're getting down there. I had a whole pile of products in the beginning, showed everything off that I was going to use in the beginning, and now I am moving along here, having less products. I'm going to use my eyebrow pencil. This is not a Farmasi pencil, but I'm trying to use it up before I order the Farmasi. But I'm going to go ahead and just do a really quick brow. I don't do a lot with my brows. Be warned, you're not going to get major brow tutorials out of me. What I do is I start with feathering motions, just like everything else. It's almost like stamp, pull, stamp, pull. And I'm going to do the bottom of my brow. I'm filling in just under my line to create a sharper line. Then I do it on the top. I have a little bald spot right here that I like to hit, and I get a little bit on the tail. And then I just add a little color, not a lot. That's it. I stop. Because I don't want drawn on Groucho Marx brows. That's not what I'm after. I just want to shape them up a little and give them a little bit of color and shape, and that's it. Take my spoolie. This is called a spoolie, and clean them up. I'm doing an upward feathering and then over. You don't want to drag that color down into your eye look you just did. Just like that. Now this is my trick. This is my little hack for you. I take a brow gel color that is light. This is light hair. I do not have light hair brows. I have medium dark brows. So I take a light color, looks like this on there. It's not super light. It's not like taking and smearing white on your brows. And it's almost like I'm giving my brows highlights in an extremely subtle way. And what I like to do, why I like to do this is because it tints my brows just ever so subtly. It makes them look more realistic. Your hair naturally is not flat. You have natural highlight to your hair. Not every strand is the same color. So this gives a natural, it just gives it a little dimension. Just a little, you can barely tell, but it just takes that starkness down enough so that it just looks a little bit more natural, which is what I'm going for with my brows. I am thinking about microblading my brows, because I really would love to have chiseled, perfect brows. And since I lack the skills to get there on my own, I gotta hire somebody to tattoo them on my face, I guess. I don't know, I'm so back and forth about it. I worry because I have nice brows, like I am not lacking in brow hair. So I'm worried if I start messing with them, am I going to screw it up? That's my big concern. And again, I'm just doing the same thing I just did. It does not match the other brow. The shape is off. I know. And that's how it is. I'm sorry if it bothers you, but that's just how my brows are. And then do my spoolie motion here. Alright, put that back down. That's done. Go in with my light colored gel. Hit them real quick. And then I go in. This is a new step I got to do my routine. Thank you, Farmasi. This is clear brow gel. Purpose of clear brow gel. It's going to help hold unruly brows in place. Let's say you have really nice brows and you never add color, but they kind of push out everywhere. This is going to help hold them down. This is also going to help hold the color I just applied to my brows in place. It's clear. I like this because it is wet enough that you know it's actually putting down product, but my brows don't feel like I have painted them with glue. It's a nice balance. I really like this stuff a lot. I think it's only $11.90, like really affordable. Alright, time to mascara. Let's do mascara. We're in the home stretch. We are in the home stretch, guys. We are almost there. Okay, we're doing double mascara, as always. Now, you do not have to do double mascara. This is a me personal preference thing. I use two. I use the 3D Effect and I use the Zen mascara. I could do one or the other. I know. But I am high maintenance, and I've done this trick long before I started doing Farmasi. This is not a Farmasi taught thing. This is a me thing. Something I've kind of come up with over the years. I always take a brush that is a nylon brush and a rubber brush. So, let me show you. The 3D Effect is a nylon brush. The Zen is a rubber brush. Okay? The reason why I have found that when you take two with those types of brushes, with the specific brush shapes that we have here, you get really nice lashes. It keeps them from clumping. It avoids the spider leg effect that you can get. It gives length and volume. It gives you the best of all the worlds. Now, I only do one eye at a time, meaning I open both, just like you saw me just do. They're both open and loose, right? And I hold them in my hand, and then I hold my mirror, and I get right up close, and I start with the one with the nylon brush, and then I follow up with the one with the rubber brush. And I do one eye, and then I move to the other eye. I don't do one mascara on each eye, and then do the other mascara on each eye, because I don't want the other eye to dry down, because that's what leads to spider legs. So, one side, then the other. Do not pump your tube. Now, what I mean by that is do not do this with your tube. Pull your brush up and down. Don't do that. A, it coats your brush with too much product. B, it puts bacteria into your tube. And C, it's going to dry out your mascara. Don't do that. What you're going to want to do is if you need more, if you're getting on towards the end of the tube of mascara and you need more, do like a swirling motion inside and then pull it out. Do not pump your mascara. Don't share your mascara either. That's a no-no. We do not share. Now I'm just going to go in and I first start by just applying like you would. Nothing fancy. No tricks. I'm just applying that initial layer of mascara. And this stuff does really well. I mean, look. It does really well. It's defining my eyelashes. It's giving them a nice, feathery look. Really, really easy. Really easy. And maybe that's all you want in life. Great. Quit there. Don't keep going. I have to be bougie and keep going. So, I'm going to apply a little more. I don't dip back in. I just use this on the brush. It's easier to add more than it is to take off. So start slow and build it up. Just like that. Start slow, build it up. There. Okay, I'm done now. I'm going to go ahead and put him back in and get the Zen out. Now, the Zen mascara takes a little getting used to because it's two different length brushes. On one side, it's short brushes, and on the other side, it's long bristles. So I'm going to go ahead. I got hair tickling me right here. I'm going to go ahead with the long end, and I'm going to do my eyes. I'm getting like close so you can see what I'm doing here, okay? So, I'm just going to get in there and put it on. You want to do this before the first mascara has time to dry down, because you want it to be pliable. And it's just doing all the good things. Now, if you start to see clumping, there are several things you can do. You can take your brush and get down to the root of the lashes, wiggle back and forth, and pull. Wiggle and pull. And that's going to help separate everybody and keep everybody in their friends. And what I do is I push my lashes up, because I don't curl my lashes. I don't really have to, so I can't say anything against curling. I just don't have to. But if you use mascara, it will kind of push your lashes into the shape that you want them. And then I take the short end bristles, still have not double dipped this back in, still using just what's on the brush. I'm going to put it down on the lower lash line. And all I do is I basically bounce this on the root and slightly pull down. That's it. There. Really, really simple. See? Amazing. Now we do have a little clumping over here. A little one I like. Not horrible. I could let it go, but for the sake of the show, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take my spoolie, the same spoolie I just used, and I'm just going to use it. It has no eye mascara on it, and I'm just going to go over here and work at him a little bit. There. And now since I've used, where's my towel? This is normal. Oh my god. Okay, I'm going to clean this off immediately so that the mascara does not ruin this brush. You may want to keep hand towels specifically for your makeup because it does stain, it does not come out. Here, now he's all cleaned up. My mascara is in hand. Let's do the other side. I'm not going to walk you through that. Now, I know we spent a long time on here. I know we spent like an hour on here, at least. And I do not spend an hour on my makeup every single day. That would not be realistic. But once you know what you're doing, when I'm doing my face, I don't sit here and detail it out step by step and move slow. And, I just do my face. Like, it's not this much of a process. So don't think that doing a full face of makeup has to take you an hour. That's not true at all. It won't take you an hour. If you get mascara on your face, let's say you're doing it and you block your nose, or like I've done that a million times. I'll probably do it now because I mentioned it. Or you get like a dot up in your eye area on your eyeshadow, don't panic. Let it dry. Get a dry Q-tip in after like 5 minutes once the mascara is completely dry down, and just click it off. Comes right off, and it doesn't mess anything up, doesn't leave a mark. That's any brand, that's not just a Farmasi brand. Alright, going in with the long bristle side. Gonna go ahead, going in here, if I can find the long bristle side. Can you see, am I covering it up? It's very hard to tell. I have a hard time gauging where the camera is with the lights. Okay. This is just me, I'm just adding product. Same as on the brush. I'm not adding product, but I'm just fanning. Fanning. So pretty. And then I'm going to do a lower lash line. Just a bounce and a slight pull down. Done. Done. Super easy. Whew. Love that my eyes dry. Look how pretty. I love this. This is like my go-to look now. Like, I am obsessed. It was so easy. So easy. Like, you can't, anybody can do this. Anybody. It is not hard. You guys watched it firsthand. No magic, no editing, no nothing. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and go in with the High Shine Gloss on my lips today. I can't talk when I do this, I'm sorry. Silence. I do gotta look into copyright-free music to play because this is crazy how quiet it is. Okay. This stuff smells like a cupcake. It goes on super easy. Give some color. This is shade number 1. Eyeshine Lip Gloss. Love it. Really, really nice. So that's it. You've done your face. I'm going to set my face with a makeup setting spray. Farmasi has one. It's called Time Locker. Mine's on order, but I still got like a half a bottle of this. It's real simple. Nice and mist the face. Purpose of this is to set those powders down, make you look hydrated, and not powdery or cakey. Helps to set your face for the day, keep your makeup in place. All the beautiful things that we want. And that is it. That's it. That's it. You can do this. You can totally do this. I can help you pick out shades. I can help shade match you for foundation. I can make recommendations. I can answer questions that you may have. Website is pinned in the comments if you want to check anything out. Do not hesitate to reach out. You don't have to ask questions in the comment box. You can DM me or email me or text me, whatever you want to do. Please share this video with your friends. I would really, really appreciate that. And I hope you enjoyed my video today. I enjoyed making it. I love to educate on beauty. Like, that's my favorite part. So this for me, it was right on my alley. So I had so much fun. I hope you all have a blessed Sunday, an amazing day. Enjoy the weather. I will talk to you all tomorrow. And if you have any requests for tomorrow's video, like a look you want to see or a color you want to see, hit me up because I need an idea. I haven't drawn inspiration yet. So let me know, and I will talk to you guys then. Bye.